Hey everyone, we just opened up 7 ER and got the Sky Shield all the way there. And one thing we are gonna change is going from 2 cannons to 4 sniper towers is our second swap of the season, and just having those buildings really helps against both bombers and rocket choppers. And even though it'll be a challenge of if we match people with that final troop damage or building health, we can still give it a shot and see how it goes. And at least on 7 ERs, we'll try to be running the same kind of hit, especially for consistency. So here we got a 7 here, and that hit is 2 HCs, 5 RCs, and 1 bomber. And this guy, we're going to be a bit slower because he has 100 building health and 150 troop damage, but still try to see what kind of time we get. On this specific base, we can do an early flare towards the left side, and that 1 bomber can just clear a bunch of this bottom side, and eventually go around the base. Well, since there's a sky shield on the right side, you can kind of do the reverse hit, go from the right side instead. So if there's a cannon on the beach, kill that first, and move everyone along. So go ahead, do the HCs, RCs, and we can do Kavan in a bomber too, get an early second wind. And then on the right side, go ahead, do that flare. Kind of watching the HCs and RCs. The RCs want to go up in front, which it looks like they want to do. We'll go ahead and throw a shock. But we do a building flare, so now the bombers on this side can start working on that stuff. And at some point, maybe do 1 more flare towards the right side. Or maybe just let them go. If Kavan starts moving, you can do another second wind. Here's a perfect spot because now those rifles distract and kill that boom cannon. And the RC spread a bit, which is okay. Got 1 going on the right side too. And we're not going to do another second wind just yet. Maybe get 1 going. Now we already have heavies distracting that stuff. So pretty much now just let everyone clear. We can do a second wind now for that shock blaster coming up. And shock it too. Got bombers working on that side, 1 RC there. We did finally max medkit, so helping on stuff like that. And maybe clearing just a bit more, get a shock going and some critters. And on the right, it'll take a while, so we'll do a couple critters and shock that microwave. And just want to clear a bunch of this stuff, so hitting the right side down. RCs are looking okay. The cannon might be a pain, so go ahead and shock it. And now just flare the last few ERs. Got 1 on this side, and get the last one going. Didn't even use arts this hit, but pulling maybe around a 210. Losing 1 RC, or I guess not. And there will be these kind of mismatches that you're facing someone with 50 more building health and troop damage. So if you have too many of these, we can't really push, but so kind of like that guy there getting a 226. Not much we could do to be faster, but just practicing those hits. And this does mean we have to spend a few more days in prison, especially like right now matching another person with 100 building health, 150 troop damage. Because tomorrow we get, I think, some building damage and the best known at 7, 5 boom mines. But after that, grappler. So the third day we're gonna get our own building health and troop damage. So maybe no video tomorrow because still just chest collecting. But even right now, just trying to practice our hits. On this base, we can still do that same 2 HC, 5 RC, 1 bomber. And it's pretty symmetric, so it doesn't really matter where we do the bomber. But I think the left side might look okay. Even potentially critter out this right side. So go ahead and spread out the HCs and RCs. And we want to wait on the bomber until we know it can go straight to that boom cannon. So maybe waiting just a few seconds. So right now, dropping that bomber in Kavan. With Kavan too, want to wait until he reaches that black and yellow line, then pop a second wind. Just so you get a handful of rifles to distract that boom cannon. And on the right here, watching it too. Maybe gotta shock it once it turns, so right now. And might be enough for just 1 shock, RCs doing their job. And kind of letting everyone go. Watch the other RC right there. going to that BC, so gonna shock it. And maybe just one critter, because shock isn't gonna last forever. And otherwise, start arting that shield. Even with 100 building health, because of that sky shield bug, it only takes 4 arts. And start working on some critters. So we'll do 1 shock and maybe 3 critters. Otherwise, just letting everyone go. Maybe 1 more shock on the right side. Get that going now. Or Kavan, Shock Blaster can be really annoying. But once this right ER goes down, we'll flare on the left and finish off the last one. Critter should get this down. Maybe even enough GB to art that shield and then send that last flare. So could be an okay time, especially against 100 building health, but it is the same kind of hit, using that 1 bomber to support the RCs. Got 221 this time, but see what he gets. Should be around 230 or higher, or maybe not. So even practicing these hits sometimes can get lucky. And this might end up being a really balanced 7 ER meta. Like we already saw some bomber action early on at 4 ER, then switched to rocket choppas, and now kind of a bit of both. But this base is a compact 7 with a doom cannon, still only 50 building health, but on these compacts we want to take just HC bombers. So usually I like 3 HCs and 5 bombers. Because this guy has a doom cannon, we can again use only 3 arts, take down the shield. He only has 50 building health. And the main thing with these compacts is making sure you throw shocks early. So if it helps, you can art the sky shield early, and we'll do 1 shock on the left side, 1 shock on the right, and then 1 in the middle. Usually 3 to start the hit, and just spread everyone out. So I usually like arting the left shield, do 3 arts, and then 3 HCs, get the bombers going, 1, 2, 3 shocks. We don't want to drop Kavan too early, so kind of let everyone go, and just saving a bit of GB. Want to do 1 more shock, especially on this middle side, get the critter launchers and doom cannon too. And still not dropping Kavan until we really need him, usually until we need like some meat shield for the bombers or we lose some. But otherwise, keep on shocking the CLs. So maybe start on the left side, can go ahead drop Kavan. And maybe do a second win right now, especially getting a few heavies for the left side. Do another second win right there, can medkit the other bombers that the other rockets hitting. And you can see, as long as you do some shocks early, the beginning isn't too bad. Otherwise, we're letting these bombers do their thing, clearing the middle ER, the left and right one. And maybe at some point we can just even let them go. Because some bombers go in the far right, some go towards the middle. We do have GB to maybe critter out 1 ER. So I think we can try that with maybe the far right side. We can try 1 critter on the flame for the rocket and then more for the ER. So we'll try this and hopefully it's enough. That 1 critter is more like a distraction critter. Because not only it kills a flame, it distracts a rocket too. Otherwise we have bombers on the left and right. And as soon as the right ER goes down, go ahead and flare the last one. With, in this case, maybe a bunch of arts. Got heavies working out too, and around a 2-minute time. Maybe could have been a bit faster, but these compacts are pretty tough either way. And on this one here, looks like a win. And we'll show the beginning part again, because with these compact bases, if you do the first, let's say, 20-30 seconds right, and that's all that really matters. The rest of the hit kind of plays through. So again, arting the shield. Eventually, if there's a grappler, you especially want to art the sky shield. And then doing 3 HCs. It doesn't have to be exact, but kind of spread out. 1 left, 1 right, 1 middle. And if you're fast enough, spread out the bombers. Same deal, doesn't have to be exact, but kind of left to right. I think we should have done the far left bomber and the far right a bit more to the sides, because you'll see they all kind of went towards the middle. But then doing those 3 shocks. You can be a bit slower with them if you want to be accurate, but you gotta pin down the right boom cannon cannons, same with the left, and whatever's in the middle. Because once you get that down, you make sure your heavy choppers stay alive, and otherwise, everything kinda just dies. Bombers get the front line of defenses, and again in this hit, it kinda just all went towards the middle, so we should have dropped a few bombers more on the sides. But to clear everything, you can do Kavan later on the side that needs a meat shield. Otherwise, just let them go and maybe critter out one ER. But given how much we're matching people with more building health or troop damage, we're probably just gonna wait until a few days and make a good push. Again, one day for a few of this stuff. That grappler is gonna be fun too, because we can make a cool little critter factory. And then it's just a final stretch of the season. But let me know how you feel about these 7 ER hits. And that's gonna be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.